hmm and the Congress may by general laws prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved, and the effect thereof. Yes. Now we've mentioned the hearings. Yes, where I didn't get any notice of court hearings. Yeah. And then we mentioned the arrest that happened on Guam. Now, these acts, records, and proceedings. Yes. There's this concern. Well, I would say it's more than a concern. Let's say you got arrested, and whether or not you committed the crime is of really no, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is what are you allowed to know as the accused? Now, my experience with public defenders, yes, as soon as they say that you have a mental health evaluation, yeah, they don't give you any record of what's really going on. Their thought is, well, we don't have to tell him. Yeah. We don't have to tell him anything, really. Yes. I mean, getting the actual documentation of my personal arrest record, yeah, seemed to be a big concern for those in the judiciary. Yes. And then there's this idea, well, we don't have to tell him that there's a designated mental health professional. Yeah. We don't have to tell him that, well, at any time we can just tell you that you have to go and be evaluated. See, um, as the individual that didn't commit any crimes, yes. Mhm. I was arrested on Guam, yeah, but I did 7 hours of parenting classes, yeah. My record was expunged, yeah. I had no criminal record. But you decided that you just would not do what the laws required. Now, these laws that I was reading about in the library, yes, I had the 2014 edition of the laws. Um, exactly how many libraries have to have or should have the most current state laws in the library so that in the reference section, yes, you as a citizen can read what the laws say. Now, I did download chapter number 9 of the RCW's poop, and it would seem to me that there are some federal laws, yes, and I've given you some of the hate crime laws and various things like this, yes, but there's this thought that you intentionally do not want the citizens educated about what the law says. Now, for those in control, the sexy offices of those that are oaths of offices, yes. My thought was, yes, that every citizen should read what the actual laws say. Now, I just downloaded the chapter 9 of the Barratry. Yes. And then in last night's email, I put that to right now. I just want to know all the libraries of the United States, every law library. Yes. Why don't you get me all the encrypted documentation pooch, of every court of every state? See, in Section 2, Clause 1, yes, it says the citizens of each of the states shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of the citizens, yes, in the several states. Ooh. Now, let's say I wanted to use those privileges and immunities of the citizens of the other states. I would go through each and every law of each and every state, and I would employ somebody to read the most current laws. And then I would get copies of all the laws for the last 40 years. Yes. And then I'd see what revisions there have been. Pooh. Because it looked to me, yes, that when it went to print, yes, that somebody's been kind of making small adjustments to the laws for the last 40 years. See, it's one thing to pass a law. hmm Then it's another thing to use some software. Yes. Or you just strike out this part or you change this word. In fact, do me this favor as a citizen of Washington State. Get me the actual laws. mhm, that have been passed in each and every state of the United States. Yes. And then look at the revisions right now. Because I want to know, was it the original intent of the mental health evaluation to arbitrarily, yes, as in we know but you don't know, yes, to make a new relationship with the mental health profession, yes, or was the intent of the mental health evaluation to establish the availability of the person standing trial? Now, I'm going, yes, to eventually, yes, go through every law in every state of the United States. And if I found out that you get me every law passed and promulgated, yes, in every state of the United States, I want you to throw it in a supercomputer. Poop. I want you to evaluate it for the last 40 fucking years.